Hello and welcome to Top Table Duels. Thank you so much for joining me today. This video is going to be a ranked best of 3 match. We have Cedra at 16 up here in the blue at 889. He's going to be playing a Sprite deck. And down here in the red, we have Pableozoic at 801 who's going to be playing Dinosaurs. Let's kick this off. Pableozoic is going to go into his main phase 1, activate his Fossil Dig. Getting the Miscellaneousaurus. Konami, bring my boy back to 3. Why is he still at 1? Bring Miscellaneous back to 3. Activates Miscellaneousaurus effect, protecting all of his dinosaurs through the main phase. Then he activates his Dragonic Diagram. Yeah, we could bring Dragonic Diagram back to 3 too. Keep Masterpiece banned. I know. Leave the hate in the comments below. Masterpiece should stay banned, but Dragonic Diagram needs to come back to 3. The deck needs the consistency. Activates Diagram. Cedra says that's good to go. Hits the Pteranodon. Yeah, God, what a name. So he's going to get himself the Lithosagem. I think this boy needs to just come back to 3 as well. Petite's going to activate, special summoning out the Oviraptor. Oviraptor's effect is going to activate, which is going to get him a baby Ceratosaurus. Now he's going to activate his Lithosagem. He's going to hit those 2 Earths, which allows him to look into the extra deck and banish 3. Spright, Ninja, and Zeus. Okay, those are 3 good hits. Turn that other engine off. And then the baby Ceratosaurus effect is going to activate. Gets him a baby. Now he's got a soul online. Activate soul effect. Hit the baby. Baby's effect. Which gets him out the scrap wrapper. So now we can go to our scrap plays. Oh, nope. Just kidding. Miscellaneousaurus is going to banish himself and get the Archosaur. Archosaur's effect on special summon. So he's going to destroy the baby. Get himself his double evolution pill. Baby's going to activate to get himself a Petite. And then Scrap is going to activate to pop the Petite. So this is just ridiculously silly, just getting all these cleared out of your deck. So you can't draw them, but man, it kind of limits the follow-up. So now we got 2 Scrap Raptors online. He's going to XE the Oviraptor and 1 of these scraps over into our Evil Sword Dolka. And then he's going to link off the Lithosagem and the other scrap to go and do his Scrap Wyvern. Scrap Wyvern's effect. That is going to be infinite impermanence because it is not a dinosaur. Probably was going to think for a second, and then he's going to activate his double evolution pill and say it's time to get our big boy. The ultimate conductor Tyranno, boss monster. Oh man, when the structure deck came out and Ultimate Conductor came out, I remember just especially when Lithosagem was at 3, the pain of this deck because it was going into VFD. It could set up 1 VFD Ultimate Conductor Tyranno as well as sitting online next to like a Dolka. And if you were staring down that back then, it was scoop going to the next game. It was ridiculous. This deck had so much power. Obviously keep VFD banned, but I do think this deck could use Lithosagem back at 3. It could use Dragonic Diagram back at 3. Miscellaneousaurus back at 3. And I do really think with those 3, this deck could be somewhat competitive and still play around. So Cedra's going to go into his turn. Normal summon his Sprite red. Tyranno's going to say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and set that. Doesn't think he has the Sprite. He doesn't want to get something else on. And Cedra does not have another way into his plays, and he has to pass turn. Let's look in there. There's absolutely no light or dark in graveyard. The Druus Worm is dead, so he can't even try to go into any other plays. So Pablo's going to start his turn. He's going to go into Soul Eating Oviraptor on main phase 1. And Cedra's going to say, yep, I can't play with that anymore. So going into game 2, Cedra 16 is going to say, I'm going first this time. And Pablo opens up a Ghost Bell and double infinite impermanence. Let's see how much Cedra can play through this. Cedra's going to normal summon the Swap Frog. Swap Frog is going to send a copy of itself to the graveyard, and then special summon his Sprite Jet. Sprite Jet's effect to add Sprite Starter. Sprite Starter, most likely going for the blue here. Of course, get that full engine online. Blue's effect is going to activate, adding the red to hand. Special summoning out the red to turn off monster effects, specifically looking at Nibiru. And then he's going to go into the Spright by the link play. Spright is going to be met with infinite impermanence. Now he's going to go into his Gigantic Sprite. Gigantic Sprite's effect is going to activate. It's going to be hit with the infinite impermanence. You need to add that material back. Nope, just kidding. He's just going to link those 2 off into a Spright Elf. Spright Elf effect is going to get the Spright Red. And then Ghost Spell is gonna come down and Sprite up, which leaves him with little to nothing. Sets the Sprite Smashers in the graveyard. Or sorry, sets him in the back row, not in the graveyard. And he's gonna pass turn. So Pableozoic gets the Petite off his normal draw. Activates his Harpy Feather Duster. Just wants to clear up that back row. Elf is gonna chain, getting himself out his red. So he's got at least one monster to get online. Pableozoic activates the Fossil Dig, gets himself a Soul-Eating Oviraptor. Normal summons, that's going to be... Oh, he's going to allow that. Okay, no. So he's not going to allow that. It was Pablo who is thumbs-upping. That's going to be met with a red, which is going to throw the Soul-Eating into the graveyard. He's going to have to pass turn. Alright, Sieger's going to activate Magnamut, banishing out the Oviraptor, activating its effect, linking those two off into an elf. That elf is going to likely go back for the blue. And now we have full engine. So, Pableozoic is asking, is this game? And Cedra says, no, it's not game. But ultimately, unless you have a godly top deck, Dinosaurs, that's the only downside with Dinosaurs, is they need multiple cards to start off versus... I mean, yeah, typically the Sprites also need 2 cards to start off. But they can do it with almost any 2 cards versus Dinos just need two very good specific cards, and Petite's not one of them. Alright, so Cedra goes into his Sprite, his Elf, as well as got his Carrot, and now he's going to Sprite Starter in the battle phase. Get out his probably one of Pixies, do 1,400 more. Leaving Pableozoic down to 3,600. Add his Druisramon in phase. And then he draws into the Ultimate Conductor. So he's got nothing in graveyard that can actually get his Ultimate Conductor online. And so he goes into it and says, I'm going to get to go first. I'm going to build another board. So now on to the all-important game 3. So Cedra does not open well. He gets his Siphon Driver in hand, but he does have his Ash Blossom. He does have the Unicorn, the Starter, and the Beaver. So scratch that. He opened fairly well. It's just the Siphon Driver. But if anyone can play out of that, Sprite can. Pableozoic going first does get his Diagram, gets his Lost World and his Terraforming and the Oviraptor and the Archosaur. So I don't think that's a great hand. So here it's interesting that he doesn't activate the Terraforming first. Potentially as a bluff. Maybe he only plays one of each. But you know what? Actually, he probably only plays one of each, and therefore Terraforming would have been a great bluff. But he probably has nothing else. So, Soul-Eating Oviraptor is going to normal summon itself. Lost World is going to create a token on his opponent's field, which is going to shut off, potentially if he had an Imperm or one of those pesky Gammas. Then he's going to activate Miscellaneous Source, which he got off the start from the Oviraptor, so he's going to protect all of his Dinosaurs until through the main phase. Oviraptor's effect is going to try to pop the token, and then it's going to send the Baby Ceratosaurus. Baby Ceratosaurus effect is going to activate. That's going to be met by an Ash Blossom. Pableozoic is going to have to think here. He's thinking real hard. Now he's going to activate his Dragonic Diagram. He says that's fine. He's going to pop his Terraforming, get his Lithosagem. Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus is going to banish itself as well as the baby to special summon out another baby. And now we have our Lithosagem online. He's not going to get the banish from the extra deck effect, but he is going to turn on the Baby Ceratosaurus effect. Baby Ceratosaurus is going to get him a Scrap Raptor, so now we can see a Scrap Raptor play come in. Scrap Raptor is going to target itself, pop itself to give himself another normal summon, and then get the Scrap Chimera. Scrap Chimera is going to normal summon itself, special summon back the Scrap Raptor. What wonderful plays. Scrap coming back in 2023. Big Think goes into the Dolka, links off the other two into his Scrap Wyvern. Scrap Wyvern effect is going to activate, which brings back his Scrap Chimera. He's going to pop the Scrap Chimera to activate Wyvern's effect, viewing his deck, getting out his Scrap Golem. And then he's going to activate Scrap Golem's effect, special summon out the Scrap Chimera. Not sure what you do with that play there. And then he passes his turn. Okay, so it just I'm not sure what that play line potentially was supposed to be. maybe an Appaloosa was the better playline there. He wasn't locked into anything, was he? Let me know in the comments below. Was an Appaloosa a better playline there? Can be used as synchro material. Yeah, I think a 3 negate Appaloosa probably would have been the best bet there. So Siege's gonna normal summon, start his turn, normal summon his Nimble Beaver. And then he links it off with the token. He doesn't get another Nimble card out of his deck. Interesting. So he's going to go into the Sprite Sprind. Sprind's effect is going to activate Try to Send. That's going to be met with a Dolka. And then a Cashier Unicorn is going to be special summon, come down. Does he play? He does not play any of the spells. So then he's going to go into battle phase, use Cashier Unicorn to power over the Dolka. Then he's going to activate a Sprite starter in main phase 2. I'm just going to get him his blue. Blue's effect is going to trigger at getting his jet. And then he's going to activate his unicorn. Okay, so he says, sorry, no target. Maybe he sided out of it. Then he's going to special summon out his jet, adding his Sprite Smashes to hand. Yeah, so I don't know if he plays Appaloosa or maybe what happened there. And I don't think he's locked into just scrap. Interesting. All right, Siege is going to go into his full play line. See, now he has a red, the elf, so he can negate something. He can banish one from the extra deck. He has his smashers. He has his starter. Siege says, I am thinking in the draw phase. He says continue. So we go straight to main phase 1. At this point, so he draws. So Pableozoic draws into Life Extreme. I'm not really sure. Equip this to 1 Earth Synchro monster. The equipped monster battles opponent's monster. The opponent monster loses 1500 attack during the damage calculation only. Once per turn, if a monster in the battle position is changed, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. If this card is sent from the spell and trap cards into the graveyard, you contribute 1 Power Tool Synchro monster and special summon 1 Life Stream Dragon from your extra deck. Yu-Gi-Oh cards have way too much text on them. You know Yu-Gi-Oh players can't read. So you can activate Scrap Wyvern's effect to try to special summon out his Scrap Raptor. Which is going to be met with a red, hitting the elf, so now he has to get rid of the Scrap Dragon. Cashier Unicorn's effect is going to activate, banishing out the Phoenix. Now Scrap Golem is going to try to target a Scrap monster and special summon it. Okay, I do see the utility in this. And maybe that's why he didn't go in an Appaloosa, but I feel like Appaloosa may have been the better play. I don't know if he plays it though. So he goes into number 60 Dugar's the Timeless, and then on summon, Seadra is going to activate effect of Sprite Starter. Blue's effect is going to trigger, getting himself a Pixies. And I'm going to guess the Smashers that's come down here. Yep, and he Smashers. Okay. So he's going to use the Scrap Golem to go into battle phase and try to run over the Sprite Red. That's going to be met with a Sprite Pixies, which is going to boost its defense. Takes his 2300. So takes his damage, sets his Life Extreme as a bluff, passes turn. At this point, Seadra does not really have much left going for him. He's going to swing over, take the damage, and then he's going to pass turn. Or actually, no, he can go into an elf here. Yep, goes into his elf, activates elf. Probably going for blue here. Pableozoic is thinking. He's acting like his back row is actually something. That's a good strategy there. He's going to special summon out the Sprite Blue. Sprite Blue's effect is going to activate, most likely getting himself another jet. Yep. And now he can get back into a starter or a Smashers. And then he goes for a starter. Overlays into number 65 so he can give himself a monster effect negate. Activates the Sprite Starter to get himself most likely. Is he playing 2 reds? Or is he going to get a carrot? He's going to get the carrot, yeah. So he's probably only playing 1 red. Gets the carrot. So now he has a monster effect negate as well as a shutdown, as well as he can get his Sprite red out just in case. Pableozoic is going to draw into a baby Ceresaurus. That is not what you want to see. Sprite Elf is going to activate its effect to special summon out the Sprind. And this is going to close out the duel. So Elf is going to activate its effect in Sieger's beginning of his main phase 1. At that point, Pableozoic is going to say GG and scoop it up. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this duel in the comments below. Also, let me know about what other decks you want to see. I think both players did really well. I think an Appaloosa in this last game probably would have made a massive difference because he would have had to make the choice between going into a... He didn't have a way to clear over both the Dolka and the Appaloosa. So at that point, he would have had to lose 2 of his effect negates, which would have got the blue out of there, which basically would stop Siege right there. So I think Appaloosa would have completely changed this game. So Pableozoic, if you're watching this, man, maybe think about an Appaloosa in one of those plays where you've kind of got stuck or out of there. I don't think anything locked you into something that you couldn't go into Appaloosa. So thank you again so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. It goes a long way towards helping me out. And I really do appreciate y'all spending your time and watching these videos. I love making them, and I hope you guys love them too. And as always, I'll catch y'all next time.
Thank you for watching. Try some of these other great duels. If you like what you saw, give us a like and subscribe.